How do leaves grow?
Hi there, I'm Sarah Robinson and I work in the Sainsbury laboratory in Cambridge. My group works on plant development. This is a great question. There's lots of people all around the world trying to answer this question. It's interesting both from a fundamental point of view of just understanding growth in general, and also from a strategic point of view with applications to improving crops. There are different ways that we can look at this problem. What some people do is they look at mutants, so plants that don't produce leaves normally, and they use this to identify the genes that are responsible for making leaves. So you can identify genes involved in leaf identity, in setting up the different axis of the leaf, and growth hormones that have a role in really the expansion of the leaf. And so you need things that coordinate the growth across the leaf surface, so that, for example, the top and the bottom of the leaf needs to grow at the same rate, otherwise it will bend. And most leaves are flat. You can see this with things like kale. If they grow too much at the edge compared to the center, then they start buckling and wrinkling, and they form this characteristic pattern. Something else that people do is they follow the cells as they're making the leaf, so they watch it growing really with microscopes. And this has told us things about the initiation of leaves. So leaves are made throughout the lifetime of a plant. They're made in this something we call a meristem, which is the growing tip of the plant. It's a little group of stem cells. And the older leaves, they have an inhibitory effect on the initiation of new leaves. And once that older leaf has moved away, then there is space for the newer leaf, and then it gets a signal and it starts to form. And it forms by the cells dividing, and then they start to expand. Like plants are mostly water, so they expand by sucking in water, which causes a pressure, and this pressure stretches the cell wall. The cells get bigger, and that makes the leaf get bigger. And these hormones and genes that I told you about earlier, they regulate how much that wall can stretch under the pressure. And so different parts of the leaf will stretch more than other parts because of this difference in the properties of the cell wall. And this leads to these nice shapes that you see around you because of this variation in how much that cell wall can stretch. And you can see this for yourself if you have some salad or some plants in your garden. You can look for some of the younger leaves and you can try and pull on them a little bit. And you can also look at some of the older leaves and you can try and pull on those a bit. And you'll find that those younger leaves are just easier to stretch compared to the older ones. That's because when growth is stopping and arresting, these genes, they make the cell wall very stiff, and so the pressure can no longer expand it anymore. And this also plays an important role in the shape that leaves have. So go explore leaves in your environment, try pulling on a few of them, and I hope I've given you some insight into how leaves grow. Thank you.